Hey people, it's Wednesday, the 26th of August. It's 10:20 in the morning, and I decided to go ahead and weigh in with a few words for the day. Cheers. Cats are doing well. They're there. Campanita is almost always the first one. It's funny how cats you pick up on your habits, and I'll peek out because it's like I have a relationship with these cats now. I do, and so I'll wake up in the morning, and depending on how early I get up, I have this routine of how I open up the house and the curtains and stuff. And so I'll peep out as I'm opening the curtains in the living room, and sure enough, there's Campanita sitting there waiting to see, seemingly for the first signs of life from the house. It's rather sweet. And now the little kittens who are growing up, as you saw in the video a couple days ago, they wait for me. And when they're done eating, they seem to fight each other over who gets to sit and sleep in that chair in my front yard. It's kind of I like it. Isn't it strange how it seems that evil people just live on and on and on, and we lose people, angels and excellent, exceptional people all the time? Isn't that weird? I'm talking about Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, rest in peace. Never been much of a country music enjoyer. Seriously. Do I have a Dolly Parton record in my collection? Well, almost by default, yes. I have Mule Skinner Blues on a 45, but I didn't go try to dig it up because, anyway, this is what I'll say about Dolly Parton. She showed an early streak of deep inner dignity in the way she presented herself to the world. I think she's a consummate artist. Heck of a musician. Wrote over 3,000 songs, supposedly. I don't even think supposedly it's documented. She wrote a lot of songs, touched a lot of people. I love how she carried herself, you know, busty lady, big bosom, and she never cheapened herself, and would snap your ass to attention if she suspected that you were trying to be bullshitty or disrespectful to her. Because of my interest in music all my life, I have watched her perform interviews, documentaries. Haven't bothered with the movies because I'm not much of a movie person, but I've always liked the way she carried herself. She always struck me as too smart to be racist, too smart to be thinking stupid shit. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Yeah, I recognize Dolly. Sure in the hell do. She was beyond just a star. Dolly was beyond being a superstar. Dolly wove her way into our culture, I think worldwide, especially America. I can't speak for other countries because I don't live there. So she has my massive respect. She does. And rest in peace. And we lost another good one, damn it. Dolly. How am I doing otherwise? Just grooving along. Practicing free speech. I mean, we're supposed to have free speech. isn't that a bitch to think that because I'm wearing this T-shirt, I could actually, you know, depending on where I go and who I'm seen by, could be a problem? Isn't that upsetting? I guess not, because it just goes on. So next week, the human, the the human digs me blues compilation comes out. I want to strongly encourage people to pick up on this. I went ahead yesterday and scanned the QV code, the QR, or what is this code called? The QR code. Jerry really put in a whole lot of work. I mean, 45, 46 artists, and each artist has a fee, he uploaded to the internet, each one of us, a feature about each artist. And for those of who wanted to explain their track, that's on there too. Kudos to Jerry, yes, kudos to Jerry King. Cheers, people. I'm kind of sipping on the coffee because I got up early, fed the cats, and then I went back to bed. So I'm back up, reawakening. No new records to show, but I will tell you this: I did get all the way through this, and this goes on my albums of the year list. Not by default, but because it deserves it. This is not show offy at all. I think the black and white pictures are perfect for the way it feels. I almost have the words for it. You know, it's in the present moment, and yet there's things about time that are captured in the ease. That's the word, not relaxed, but the ease that these three interact musically. Henry Threadgill sounding awesome. VJ Iyer, lovely pianist. So that goes on the albums of the year list. Something that got played because I didn't play much music yesterday. I did hear from Shola Asghari, and she is an educator. She is a professor down in North Carolina. So she hasn't had a chance to process the audio or the video. Apparently, the recorder that we used or she used to capture our event was borrowed. And so she says, I'm excited to see how it turned out, and she'll be in touch with me when she finally gets around to it. But she's busy starting the school year. This is good this morning. How's it going, Michael? If you happen to see this, how you doing? So as I suspected, Michael P. Dawson's track on the blues thing, which doesn't sound like the blues right away, is based on 12 bar. It explains it. I suspected as much. Clever cat. All these people on this compilation are some badasses. They are. I'm really proud to be on this, people. Seriously. Comes out September 4th. So the only record that got played yesterday was this. Lol Tolhurst, formerly of The Cure, Budgie, formerly of The Slits, and Susie and the Banshees, and Jack Knife Lee, who's done a lot of different things I don't know too much about. Los Angeles. This is pretty cool. It's Lol Tolhurst doing all of these collaborations, including the cat from LCD's sound system, and Bobby Gillespie from Primal Scream, Jesus and Mary Chain. So as it plays, each track is different. There is a bit of continuity, but this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Los Angeles. It's the only record that got played yesterday. So I'm not going to do a copycat thing of Jeffrey Lewis on Instagram, spin it or bin it. I'm not going to do that. I am enjoying how more and more people are just showing their records. What the heck? I enjoy it. I do actually watch. I'm sitting here and be watching the clips. A lot of times, what's fun is to see what I have, and what I don't have. So with that in mind, even though I know exactly what's here, you always see these records right here. Well, some of you have probably figured out what these are, and some haven't. So I'll just grab this bunch right here. What do we have? Eero Koivistoinen. The front is breaking. From Stockholm, Sweden. Produced by George Wedenius. Also a rest in peacer. He's been gone for a while, but a great musician. He was on a lot. Is it Jan Schaefer I'm thinking of? Or this guy or both who were behind the scenes on a lot of ABBA hits. This is some fine, fine jazz. It's not out there jazz. It's melodic. Excuse me, and spirited. Koivistoinen was a good player on the Smart Jazz label. Good stuff. What's next? Kiyosame. I'm not sure how you say it. Obani Keshi. On the Orange Milk label. Some very... the graphics are perfect for this music. Electronic. You don't know what's coming next. Constantly changing. I love stuff like this. Next, we have Hans Koch. I think that's how you say the name, Koch. We're in the K's right in here. Acceleration. This is an ECMer. It's an ECM. Hate to say it, this is one I have to. Oh, it's a German pressing too. Can't remember what this sounds like. Time to investigate. Hans Koch plays clarinet, bass clarinet, tenor and sax, tenor and soprano. And his backing musicians are not names that I knew. Okay. This is stuff that's sitting right there. What's next? This is a wild album. The Knife. Shaking the Habitual. I sold a couple of other records because it's like, this is enough. The lead singer, I forget her name. It's a distinct voice, almost in the realm of like a Bjork, but an acquired taste. I have to look and see if this is black vinyl too. I don't remember. I think it is. 3-record set. And this is strange because it's black vinyl. It's so weird that whole size of this, you're not sure what speed to play it at. It's an LP, but it's so abstract it can play at 45 or 33. That's a good record. What's next? This is what's just sitting right there. Anima by Kenneth Knudsen. As I've said before, if you could come over here and sift through my go through my collection, you'll see it is not hiding that typical stuff. No offense, but that's another thing. I'll keep going here, but it's like it's the latest thing. in the vinyl community and people talking about records. 10 records that you didn't know, or check the number, check the matrix. You may have a gold mine. And there's, and they keep talking about the same fucking records, you know. First press, Michael Jackson, Eagles, look for the matrix. That shit is boring to me. Same old fucking records that we can't escape because of iHeartRadio. So Kenneth Knudsen, Moog. Once again, this is something I'll have to play. Oh, cool looking label too. I'll have to play this. And who is it now? The latest thing is anymore, I get on here, I'm making a video, and I bet it's Robert. Let me see, because Robert Stewart, my friend in Minneapolis. No. Oh, jeez. So, timely. This is from my nephew, Sean. I didn't know that he was a fan, but he's sharing with me that he just heard that Tim Curry has passed away. Tim Curry, Rocky Horror. He also tried to break out and have a solo singing career. He had a stroke that fucked him up bad. He was, in a wheelchair. I saw a recent interview with him. Brains was intact, but his body was shot because of the stroke. Rest in peace. Just found that out. To continue here, Claw 2. So I used to have all their albums, and the one after these first two I just said there's no point in keeping it because I don't like it. But these first two, this one, where people thought it was the Beatles, I never thought that. Little Neutrino is the track up here that I think is a standout. But to keep it up with the second album, Hope. Pop music with a bit of a flair for the progressive. Let me wrap this up. Koharu Kisaragi, 12-inch single, Neo Plant. This is the only thing that she ever put out that I know of. Produced by Ryuichi Sakamoto, with the B-side being one of those blinky, no melody sound fields that Sakamoto is, I think, was one of the best at. This is really good. And the A side is a stomping track, electropop. I have more here, so these are out of order. Yes, they are. Okay, let me put that there. Okay. I only have this one Rahsaan Roland Kirk album because I never got into listening to him, even though he, like Miles Davis, Rahsaan Roland Kirk has been to my childhood home. My dad was a jazz musician. He was part of the hot jazz scene in Chicago when he was a young man. Red Higgins' Atomic Trumpet. Could have, should have. My dad fucked up. But anyway, I'll never forget waking up one morning and the house smelled funny, and there's all this racket, and it's Rahsaan Roland Kirk and my dad in the living room, with my dad trying to learn how to blow two horns at one time, with Rahsaan showing him. But this is what I have by him. Prepare thyself to deal with a miracle. So the next would be these. Richard H. Kirk from Cabaret Voltaire, who also passed away in the last couple of years. Great people leave us all the time. The sons of bitches like Trump, they just keep stirring the pot and fucking shit up. Now what is he talking about, wanting to tear down the Kennedy Center because he can't have his name on it? Fuck him. Time High Fiction. The early Cabaret Voltaire records and the solo records really pointed the way towards the future of sampling and sound manipulation. Here's another Richard Kirk. Ugly Spirit. These are good. Hypnotic. Richard H. Kirk, Hypnotic. "12-inch single here. Richard H. Kirk, Toned, Fear No Evil, Dust. And then this, not an original, but an essential, I think an essential album to be familiar with if you're interested in the development of sound. Basil Kirchen, Worlds Within Worlds. There's much that could be said about this, but I'd have to get back up to speed. I haven't read this in a while, haven't listened to this in a while, but this is significant. Worlds Within Worlds, Basil Kirchen. And two more, German band. Hard Rock Not Prague, Ken Ping Meh, number 2. This is an original. And great label, Zebra, the Zebra label, very cool label. And this is fairly ordinary rock and roll, but it's a keeper, partially because of its, of the label that it's on, to be honest. But it's a keeper. Ken Ping Meh. Last thing to show you, and I'm going to go refresh my copy, is Kino. This guy is continuing. He is in Lonely Robot. I think he's in the latest version of the band Asia. I forget the guy's name, but he's a good musician. He has a good voice too. I love this album, Picture. I think this is in many ways a modern progressive rock masterpiece with the original Porcupine Tree drummer Colin Maitland. How do you say his name? Is on here. Love that guy's drumming. And Chris Maitland. John Mitchell is the guy I'm thinking of. This is real good. Real good. Real good writing, playing. I love Chris Maitland's drumming because it's emotional. And that was something that he brought to Porcupine Tree that I lamented when Gavin Harrison joined, because Gavin Harrison is technically very good, but there's very little feeling. Chris Maitland had a lot of feeling. He would just explode sometimes on the drums on Porcupine Tree songs. It made him special. So there's some music for you. And there's my thoughts regarding the amazing, wonderful Dolly Parton, who we have lost. Rest in peace, family. I'm always thinking of you, sending you all love. I love that we're in contact all the time. The rest of you folks, hope you're all doing well.